Hi, my name is Morgan Walton, and this is Module 10, Safe Schools. Summary of the provided articles. Basically, these articles I gained similar information from all four of them. Creating relationships should be a top priority. This is one of the best ways to prevent bullying within the schools and in the classrooms. Students and teachers should learn to empathize with others. I added teachers in here because sometimes teachers let our biases and our emotions get the best of us. And just like we do with our students, we should be empathizing with others and understanding how others are feeling. Create a caring and inclusive environment. Caring for others is always important no matter your position. And creating an inclusive environment in which everyone feels welcome and accepted is very important so that students don't feel the need to lash out and bully other students. Learn to respect others' differences and embrace the diversity. This is very similar to one of the modules that we had in the past because I feel like respecting others' differences and embracing the diversity is something that we've definitely learned about, and it's a great strategy to prevent bullying. A warm, welcoming classroom that is neat and provides students with structure and empowerment. When classrooms are cluttered, they can be very overwhelming to students and they can feel overstimulated. When students are overstimulated, that can lead to bullying and negative behavior that we see from some students. Welcoming classrooms allow everyone to know that they are accepted and they are welcome in the classroom. Structure provides students with little downtime. They know that they're supervised, they know the expectations, and they know what is expected of them in their work and in their behavior. Empowerment is something that students should feel, but they should know their limitations. Empowerment means you have responsibility within your own work and your own behavior, but you are still expected to follow the rules and policies of the classroom. Employ positive actions curriculum to prevent negative or poor behaviors. This is important because it keeps the positive side of students as opposed to only dealing with the negatives. Guide students in developing intrinsic motivation. They shouldn't always need extrinsic motivation. It comes from within you, and that's something that has to be learned. Students don't just have that intrinsic motivation. Support a positive learning environment with positive reinforcements and responding with positivity in various situations. Again, this goes back to not always dealing with negative behavior. If you're constantly dealing with the negatives, then you're very rarely going to get to deal with the positives. Summary of my chosen articles. The articles that I chose were mainly specific to strategies that educators could use to prevent bullying instead of intervening after the bullying has occurred, which was the task at hand. I feel like several of my articles were very similar, which I feel a lot of the articles on bullying prevention are. Assess the bullying at your school. That's one of the first steps. Then create an approach create an approach that is specific to those needs. Every school is different and every school's bullying needs are different. Engage all stakeholders and build policies and rules to set the foundation for a structured, safe, and positive environment. Engaging all stakeholders is so very important, and it's not really something I thought of just because as a teacher, I tend to deal with my students and my administrator, and sometimes the parents if it becomes necessary. Engage the teachers and staff on bullying and bullying prevention. Teachers are learners as well, and if we don't know how to prevent the bullying behavior, then we're not going to be able to prevent that behavior, and instead we're going to have to intervene. Allow for training on bullying prevention and what to look for as warning signs of bullying. This is so very important. Just like I said above, educate the teachers. We have to know what to look for and what to do in those situations. Build a sense of student responsibility for their actions and decisions. This was stated on the previous slide with the provided articles, and I still feel that's very important. Engage students in learning to respect and accept others for their differences, again stated on the previous slide, and just as I stated before, it is very important. Ensure cultural competence among students and staff, accepting others, understanding that everyone's different, and that it's beneficial for everyone to be different. So the data provided really kind of surprised me. Dealing with the pre-K through second grade building, middle school is a whole different world. Overall, the data shows that almost half of middle school students have experienced name-calling and teasing. I really believed that this number would be higher, but it saddens me that it is almost half. More than a third of these students have experienced rumors and physical acts against them, like pushing and shoving. Again, I expected it to be higher, but it saddens me that a third of these students are feeling this way. We shouldn't have any students feeling this way, and it definitely shows a need for prevention. Most bullying takes place within the classroom, hallway, or cafeteria. This really surprised me because I expected it to be in places that were secluded, more like the bathroom or a locker room, when in fact the classroom, hallway, and cafeteria is all somewhere where educators should be present and that their presence should be known. So this really surprised me. Only 20 to 30% of students will contact an adult seeking help. This number does not surprise me at all. Even the students in my second grade classroom tend to not tell an adult when something is going on. And that's a terrible habit to get into because we can't fix the problem if we don't know what's going on. And we have to allow our students to understand that how important it is for them to tell an adult when this is happening. So what's missing? If most bullying happens in the classrooms, hallways, and in the cafeteria, then a teacher's proximity is not being felt. A student should always feel like their teacher knows exactly what they're doing before they do it. Their proximity must be within the classroom. Students should always feel like the teacher is around them and close to them and that they were constantly supervised. Teachers should constantly be moving around, exploring all areas of the room to ensure that all students are supervised and noticed, whether they feel like those students need supervised or not. And acceptance for all students is also missing, as the bullying mostly seen is name-calling or teasing. Those students are obviously not accepting others who are different. Assuming policies have been taught, respect for authority and respect for the peers is also missing because students are bullying others even though they have assumably been taught the opposite. That lack of respect is definitely missing in this case. So what happens next? When several steps have been taken to prevent the bullying behavior, students will be safe and secure within the classroom or areas in which the teacher is present. Knowing their teacher is close and observant can help bullies to know it's not acceptable and let the victims know that they are safe. When teachers are around and they are visible and they are known to be there and that they are not accepting of bullying, then it's less likely to happen. After building respect and acceptance, students should not experience the high level of teasing and name-calling as the data shows. Hopefully this number would go down. Understanding that everyone is different and embracing those differences can lead to a stronger, more diverse community within the school. This is so very important. We have to teach our students how to accept others because unfortunately that's not the world that we live in. And it's not necessarily ingrained in students' brain when they're born to accept others. It should be, but the way that we live now, it's not. And it's our responsibility to help teach those students that we must accept others and not bully others for their differences. I have 2 pages of references for the articles provided and the articles that I found. So this is Module 10. I'm Morgan Walton. Thank you.